Dear Apple, we need to talk. Usually, those forward words don't start a pleasant conversation. This is definitely one of those times. I think back and I remember the good old days when you used to listen, when you used to geek out with me, when you cared about creativity, when you were just as much of an art nerd as I am. You remember when we used to really care about photography, when we used to make beautiful music together, and when we used to aspire to be great filmmakers. It's cool that you're still into design and aesthetic and that, you're still techie. I like that. That's cool. We still have a lot of things in common, and I still do enjoy the time that we spend together. But lately, I've noticed you changed. You're hanging out with different people. People we used to never really think too much about. That we didn't care if they liked the same things that we liked, that if they, weren't into the geeky, techie, creative art stuff that we were feeling so much, it didn't bother us. It didn't bother us that we only had, a few friends, the crazy ones. Those definitely were the good times. At some point, it just feels like you got a lot more superficial. You started caring about being thinner all the time. And it really concerned me because it wasn't always the right choice. Sometimes, there are more important things to worry about than how thin you are, how good you look. Substance matters too. And also, I think that there's a point where you just stop listening to me. There's a point where it feels like you wanted to become one of the happy, shiny people. I don't know what happened. I could just say that everything changed. When our friend Steve passed away, that was a rough time. But, we toughed it out together. And, I thought that maybe, just maybe, we could, move on from that and be stronger than ever before. But it just seems like that loss hit you really hard in that you changed in ways that I couldn't have predicted. But if I'm honest with myself, things started to go downhill before that. There was a point where I was really, really into photography, and you were there for me. You backed me up. You helped me, really embrace that passion. And then all of a sudden, it didn't seem to matter to you anymore. I don't know why that is. It was something that you were so good at, and something that we shared very passionately together, and then it just seemed like it didn't matter to you, like you didn't care anymore. You haven't always gone along with my friends, Adobe. I don't understand that. I mean, you guys have so much in common. There's so much that's similar there. You guys have had a great relationship in the past. I know you guys still talk. I know you guys still, hang out, but it seems like there's some conflict there from time to time. Maybe there's a little bit of resentment. Maybe there's some things that you're still holding on to. I just really don't know because you don't talk to me. You don't tell me what's going on with you. You don't tell me what you're thinking. And so it's hard for me to understand. You just expect me to take everything at face value and take your word for it. And let's be honest, you've let me down. You've let me down in the past when I've just went along with things that you wanted to do because you wanted to do it. It hasn't worked out for either of us before. And so I think it's important for me to really question whether you want to be in this relationship anymore. I've been loyal. I've been faithful. I've been reliable and dependent, and I feel like more than anything, I'm being punished for that. I'm being punished for that because I give and I give and I give, and I'm not getting back what I think is right or what I think is fair or what I've asked for from you. And then when I complain about it, when I say anything about it, you just sit there and you don't respond. You go on about your business like nothing happened. And then what's worse is that your new friends all gang up and tell me that I'm the one who's wrong, that I'm at fault, that I'm the one who doesn't understand. And they come up with the lamest excuses for it. They do everything to defend and justify you because they've been so blindsided and mystified by how gorgeous you are and how smart you are and how fashionable you are that they can't see the deep flaws that I've had to live with for the longest time. Some of them haven't even known you that long. They don't even know what they're talking about. I've been in this for the long haul, and you know it. You don't put over a decade into a relationship. You don't put that kind of investment into anything unless you care. And when you care, you have to speak up when things aren't right. And things haven't been right for some time. I think I just needed a push to realize that. And the way that you've been behaving, the way you've been doing things, and again, they're not all bad. They're not so terrible. They're not so awful. But more than anything, I feel like you're not the Apple that I fell in love with, and you haven't been for a very, very long time. I know things change. I know people change. I know relationships grow. But when at your core, the things that we shared, that we had in common, that we were passionate about, the things that we wanted to do, the great and tremendous work that we were supposed to do together, when you show me that you're not interested in that, when you make decisions that make it harder for me to do the things that I care about, and then you don't listen, and you don't want to have a dialogue about it, or you don't want to explain yourself to me, I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how we go on from here. I'm just looking for a sign that you still care about the things that I care about, the things that mean the most to me, the things that really matter. I still want to believe that you love creativity and that you can love a creator like me. I desperately want to believe that that's true. But actions speak louder than words, and you've been silent for far too long. Relationships are about communication. They're about honesty. They're about trust. They're about loyalty. They're about commitment, and they're about consistency. And these are areas that I haven't been satisfied with from you for a long time now. And it's been hard to come to that understanding. It's been hard to admit those things to myself first and then to you. And it's really scary because I'm having to imagine what life might be like without you. It's a very terrifying prospect. It's not one that I'm really excited about entertaining right now. But you're really not leaving me a lot of options. Things have to change. Things have to get better. Some of the things have to go back to the way they were. They really do. They worked. They were fun. They were exciting. They were, in fact, the good old days. I want more of that. But I also understand that you have to grow and you have to change too, and you have to do things that are right for you, and I accept that, but I want you to let me in. I want to be part of the process. I want us to get there together. And if we can do that, then I think that things will be okay. But you have to open up. You have to be more honest. You have to communicate. And you have to let me in. You have to let me know what you're thinking and why you do the things that you do so that I don't just assume that you're crazy and that you don't give a crap about me. Because that's how you make me feel. You make me feel like I'm neglected. You make me feel like I'm unwanted. You make me feel like you'd rather just have someone else who's maybe less creative, less artistic, less passionate, somebody that's a little bit more casual, somebody who's not as tech savvy. You make me feel like you don't want me anymore. You make me feel like this isn't a mutual thing. Like I said, you're not the Apple I fell in love with, but that doesn't mean that whatever you're becoming is something that I couldn't fall in love with again. But I have to know that you still want this, that we still have something in common that's worth pursuing, and that we can still create things together, that we can still make beautiful music, that we can still be, movie gods one day, that we can still, pursue this dream of creating awesome things and sharing them with the world. And if we can do that together, there's a lot that we can get past. But if you're going to keep making this harder than it needs to be, then we're just going to have to call it quits. Hey everybody, it's Roberto. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I know it was a little dramatic. It was a little different than what I would normally do, but I wanted to be fun and creative and clever, and I wanted to do something a little different that lets me talk about Apple, talk about how I feel as a creative without doing a rant. And I think doing that Dear Apple letter, that Dear John like breakup letter was a really great thing. One, it was therapeutic for me on a lot of levels. It was very cathartic. But I also think that it probably resonates with a lot of you, and it might be how a lot of you feel about Apple right now if you're a creative person. If you're a photographer, a musician, a filmmaker, a graphic designer, then you might not be happy with all the things Apple's doing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not an Apple hater. I have a lot of Apple products. I still have my iMac over at the standing desk. I have my Apple Watch, which I do love, and I have a crap ton of iPhones and some other Apple stuff. So, you know, like I said in the video, I've been in a relationship with Apple for over a decade. I do love a lot of the things they do, but I also don't think that they love a lot of things I do anymore. And so I wanted to make a video about it. Anyway, share this with whoever you want. I doubt that Apple will ever see it. That's cool. But if they do want to talk, I'd love to. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell me how you feel about your relationship with Apple in the comment section. Good or bad, indifferent, let me know. As always, you guys, thanks so much for watching. And don't forget, go out there and create something awesome today, whether it's with Apple or without. Take care.